I recently came across something that Matt Haig, the author of Reasons to Stay Alive and the wonderful Midnight Library, and his recent book, The Comfort Book, I think that's what it's called, something that he'd said about anxiety. And he said that these days he sees it less of an illness and more of an injury that flares up from time to time. And what he does is realizes that he needs to put his metaphorical feet on the metaphorical sofa. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but you get the gist. And I remember when I first came across that, read that, I was like, yes, that's it. That it's, what if those anxious feelings that we get, and we all get them, is what if it's a really, really cool signal for us, all right? And you might be saying, well, but it feels so awful. And I know, because I recently had a kind of bout of anxious thinking, and it's really, really horrible. But what if it's telling us something really important around listening, super, super listening to what we need in that moment, what we need to do? And a bit like the video I shared recently about asking ourselves, what do I need right now? What if instead of kind of having more and more thinking that becomes kind of this huge anxious bubble that we're in, that maybe even leads to a panic attack, what if we're able to, at some point, is to catch ourselves and to actually realize that what's going on here is our body is sending us a signal that we need to either rest, we need to maybe say no to something, that we need to find something quiet to do for ourselves, that we need to breathe, that we maybe need to just get some fresh air. Our body can be sending us these signals and we are ignoring them because we think that we've got to fix whatever it is that's causing all that anxiety in our mind. And I think that this is transformative. That if we, instead of attaching ourselves to the anxiety, saying, I am an anxious person, is to say that we've got anxious thinking. Now, I don't know whether you hear something in that, but that to me is massive because it takes me out of it. That it's not my identity that's wrapped up in anxiety, let's say. And the same could be said for the eating disorder, that we're letting go of that, I am, and it's a behavior that we're going through. And we can have so much anxious thinking about a ton of different things, and yours is going to be different to what's going on in your best friend's or a parent or a child's or mine or B's. But every now and again we get this flare up, as Matt Haig so beautifully says, that it's a flare up. So what do we do when we have a flare up of, I don't know, it could be a stomach upset, or it could be a flare up of hay fever, or anything that we might suffer with every now and again, or a pain in your joints or something. It's telling us something. And our body is so amazing. It gives us this feedback all the time. So we can listen to that. It's like when I used to run, my body would give me signals. And I decided in the end to stop running because my Achilles would flare up. So it would be daft of me to actually push through that, because then I could really damage and hurt myself. And yet when we've got this kind of anything that's going on in our minds, we just tend to think that we've got to push through it. I'll just get to the other side. But actually, is that really helpful? Or is it better for us to listen and tune in to what our body is clearly telling us with this wave of sort of sensations that we get in our body when we have anxious thinking, and tune into that and ask ourselves, okay, what do I need right now? And it might simply be to sit, close your eyes and breathe. A few inhales and a few exhales and see where you go from there. I'd love to know what your take on that is. So do leave a message in the comments below if that was helpful or not. And we'll see you again next week. Bye for now.